Hi, welcome today, still busy, so I will temporarily record this video. I hope if the recording is not good, people don't complain about me. The One Piece pirate world, where each chapter now is not simply an adventure or a battle of haki and devil fruits, but it has become a war of the Wizard Association and those heretics like Imu, for example. After taking over Gunko's body and transforming into a devil form like Satan, Imu continues to make people shudder by forcing Dory and Roji and the giant warrior pirates to sign a pact with the devil. After the magic word, Domi Reversi, all of them turned into giant devils attacking all comrades and those around them, plus killing M's nightmare monsters. In Imu's hands, there is now a super powerful super devil army. This news spread throughout the surface world, making all giants terrified and quickly asking Sauron to leave for another place. However, he refused. Meanwhile, in the underworld, where the strongest characters are gathered, like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, or Lucky and the new giant warrior pirates, they still don't know what the heck is going on, but everything can change when Gaban and Chopper fall down. Luffy and everyone will launch a counterattack against Imu and the Holy Knights. One Piece Chapter 1151 is a prelude bell for this battle. Historic battle when the sun god Nika returns. This is the first time throughout the history of One Piece that we witness the ultimate power of Nika and Imu in the same uncompromising war. Chapter 1151 begins with the gloomy scene of Aked, where the sky is turning blood red. Darkness is covering the surface world. Luffy, who carries the initial D in his name, after eating and resting comfortably, is about to face one of the most brutal wars ever. A war for the survival of an entire nation, an entire race, for the ideal of freedom and the inherited legacies of Gol D. Roger, Joe Boy, and even Dr. Vegapunk. Each panel in Chapter 1151 is no longer action, but a declaration. Who truly has the right to define justice? Who will touch the One Piece treasure? Not just material, but also the truth hidden for hundreds of years. One Piece Chapter 1151 is not simply a continuation of the previous chapter, but a turning point, a holy war between faith and control, between that guy Imu and the old man who likes to eat, Luffy. Aked will become a battleground deciding the fate of the entire world. Now, brothers, let's sit down, take a deep breath, eat some snacks, drink some water, and join us for the detailed spoilers of One Piece Chapter 1151. Chapter 1151 is titled, I Understood. That is the statement of the character with the lowest damn IQ in the Straw Hat crew right now. Luffy said he understood, but it's not certain if he understood what the heck is going on. Luffy will return in this chapter or one chapter immediately after. What did he understand, and did he really understand? Please continue watching the video. The cover page continues the story of Yamato of the Oni tribe traveling around Wano. In chapter number 35 this week, she arrived at Bakura town. Here, Yamato participates in a sumo wrestling tournament in Hakumai region hosted by Lord Kawamatsu and sits in the stands. And to remind you, when he appeared at Udon Prison Quarry, he was introduced as Captain Kawamatsu, the strongest wrestler in the kingdom. Although he is a swordsman, Kawamatsu's forte is wrestling. His sword techniques also originate from sumo wrestling. Yamato particularly loves this sport, so she registered to participate, and she defeated her opponent, who is the brother of the wrestler Ushimaru, whom Luffy encountered when he first arrived at Wano. Okay, now let's start the content of the new chapter. It seems the Super Devil Army still hasn't satisfied Imu. He continues to transform more giant warriors into devils. Imu's method, as we said before, is similar to the rules of the game of Reversi. In Italian, when an opponent's piece is between two of your pieces horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, you can capture the opponent's piece and turn it into your own piece. In Chapter 1150, the warriors standing between Roji and Dory were the first to be transformed into devils. After that, more flower giants turned into devils. In this chapter, the chaos increases as Imu captures more pieces. Now he has a horde of monsters strong enough to crush an entire nation. Because this is the giant race, one of the strongest races in One Piece. Not stopping there, many monsters surge out from Killen's Nightmare Lake. He also left the library area and came to follow Imu's command. Tillingham also transformed into a hybrid form that looks very similar to a centaur, with the lower body being 4 legs like a Kirin and the upper body being a person. The face is more like a person and has sharp teeth. But the question here is, why did this old man only now transform into a hybrid form? What was the previous form we saw? It seems Killingham's devil fruit is very special, and it seems to be the beast form of a Ryu model Kirin. The previous form was truly strange when the zone form, like the human form, also had hands that could hold weapons and wear a fishbowl like those other furry creatures. In this chapter, we will clearly see the true face of the holy Rimasifu killing him. Began to command the dead monsters to revive along with the giants to head straight towards the western village. Tillanem's Nightmare Lake is truly a nightmare because his monsters will never die as long as people are afraid of them. The more time passes, the more advantageous this devil fruit proves to be. Perhaps killing him must be destroyed to end this matter. Transitioning down to the underworld, Luffy finally returned in this chapter and knows what is happening on the surface world. Oda went straight to the point and explained why, instead of letting everything happen according to the normal process. In this chapter, Luffy's group met Chopper and Gaban in the snowstorm. Both fell down relatively far from their location. A short flashback began, recounting the moment Chopper caught Gaban when he fell down the cliff. Just as Trine Tonghop predicted, as soon as he grabbed Gaban, the captain used Gamu Gamu to protect him. Chopper's large size plus his super thick fur saved the old man's life. He actively held Gaban against his chest and landed on his back. Fortunately, the snow below the underworld was also very thick, so it cushioned some of the impact. Otherwise, Chopper's bones would have been completely shattered. From the beginning, Oda had this intention by letting Chopper chase him, because that was the only way to save Gaban's life. So it was very easy for us to predict this. While digesting food, Luffy felt the presence of Chopper and Gaban as soon as the two of them fell from the surface world. So he and the whole group ran to see the situation. With two doctors, G and Chopper, it would be very difficult for Gaban to die. Brothers. The old man and Chopper were taken to Lucky's location, who was chained by some people from the Hasaruden group who were still guarding there. G also left medical equipment there. When the two old men were injured, the Hasaruden group also shouted in unison. Nai Yasin, the mysterious character named Mosa, whom Lucky had friended, called him one more time and said, "Thank you for that. We still don't understand what that is, but Lucky has been chained like this for 6 years. He even said if he were there, he would kill all those guys to help Mosa." This means Lucky and Mosa have never met and only chatted via Den Den Mushi. So he couldn't help Mosa directly. It's likely just some words of encouragement or giving some hints. But for Mosa, that is very important. It's not a coincidence that this character has appeared many times related to Lucky. Also inserting into the story of Chopper and Gaban after they fell, Mosa must be involved in a new kingdom recently suppressed by the government in the recent revolutionary movement. Returning to Luffy's group, he recognized the old man he had met in the castle. The three of the Straw Hat crew wondered why the giants showed respect to this old man. Hazaruden's memory thought they must have known, but they didn't. So Hazaruden had to enlighten these three naive youths. The lord they met in the castle was the legend Scopper Gaban in the Roger Pirates. He is also known as the left hand of the Pirate King. More specifically, he emphasized that Rayleigh and Gaban are introduced as the wings of the Pirate King Roger, exactly like what Robin said about Zoro and Sanji at Onigashima Castle. This information shocked Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. They didn't expect that strange old man to be a true legend, on par with the Dark King. Especially Luffy, knowing the old man is a close friend of his master, became much more polite. Not rude and disrespectful like before. While everyone was buzzing and discussing the fact that Gaban was the third strongest character in the Roger Pirates, the old man interrupted and said, "Let me correct this. I'm the second strongest. The second strongest, but Roger is the vice captain." Well, the old man is quite similar to a certain blonde old man whose name I won't mention, always competing with Zoro to see who is the number 2 guy, but actually, they are quite equal, right brothers? Basically, each person has a strength, but the old man Gaban is stubborn and insists that he must be ranked above his friend, meaning he is the second strongest. It's true that this age group is difficult to manage, brothers. Basically, Gaban must be right because the two of them might be equally strong or because Roger is dead, so he's the second strongest, from third to second. Returning to the surface world, Imu continued to release a Conqueror's Haki attack. This time, it only affected the surface world. The second tremor was much more powerful than the first time. Monsters in the underworld also trembled in fear. Luffy also felt this terrifying tremor from Imu's Conqueror's Haki. He had to say, "I understand what happened now." That's what he said, but who knows if he actually understood. I guess Luffy understands somewhat that he has to Gamu Gamu in the face of the guy who is broadcasting Wi-Fi up there. Luffy's group and Hazaruden's new giant pirate crew are ready to return to the surface world to confront Imu, the Holy Knights, and his devil army. Surprisingly, Lucky hinted that in the end, you still need my strength. Of course, Lucky also felt that flow of haki. It was quite strong, and he also knows what is happening. And Lucky is the one who possesses a legendary power of the Abaz tribe and was chosen by the Ragnar Hammer. He is confident that his ability can solve the problem. Luffy is not narrow-minded. In fact, he trusted Lucky from the beginning. If he promises to reveal Sanji's location, then when everything is over, Luffy will definitely release him as promised before. As for Hazelruden and his crew, no matter how much they hate Lucky, the safety of the nation must be put first, right? Hazelruden is also a prince, not a short-sighted person. Unaked, everyone knows the strength of this guy Lucky. So if he can really help them, I believe Hazelruden will not object to temporarily releasing Lucky. At this point, he has also recovered considerably, brothers. Luffy and Lucky's impressive combat scene will definitely shake the world. And unfortunately, next week we won't have a chapter. And those are the last pieces of information in today's report. Thank you, brothers, for watching the entire video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to support our videos. Hello and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.